Welcome, everybody, to Not Two Old Timers. I'm Brian,
And I'm Cory.
and we're two not too old timers sitting around telling stories and talking about things. So, what do we want to talk about today?
What are we talking about today? I don't know. There's so much to discuss in the world. Oh my God. The whole
Well,
tariff
let's
war
try
that
not to,
started today.
yeah, let's
Oh,
try not to take it
goodness.
too political, that's for
No, I
sure.
think, yeah, this is a good point. Like, politics are short lived shows, right? They're only good for like a
Yeah,
week worth of streaming. And if we
yeah,
concentrate our efforts on political realms, by the time it's posted and we have 10 views, it's obsolete.
yeah,
There was something
yeah,
something
exactly.
more something more specific, something more applicable to longevity of information, and that's applicable. I got a couple of ideas
Yeah,
floating around. I talked to you.
shoot.
I talked to you a little bit. I want to do a continual series of like meditation,
Yeah,
and not just like one big lump sum, but like 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, 5 minutes down the road on meditation and stuff like that. That was a good burp. That felt good. Was delicious too. Tasted like A&W root beer. Not not a sponsor. Um, you know, last time we talked, I did some work on my bonsai trees today. It was beautiful weather out, so I got the opportunity to get outside, and I was in between running around. The sun was still up, and it was nice out, so I did some trimming. It's winter time here, February, beginning of February. However, what that means in our neck of the woods, my neck of the woods, is spring is starting.
yeah.
Our winter time is all of 1 week, and then it's back to scorching heat summertime.
Well,
Goodness.
shit, I imagine that it's going to get a little colder before it gets
I
warmer.
think so. We were talking,
Because
me and the wife was
February,
talking
mid
about it.
February,
Yeah, last year was up and down, up and down, up and down.
right?
But the year before that got really cold February, you know,
Yeah,
for here.
yeah.
Like I think we saw
Well,
a
yeah, I
single
mean,
snowflake. Everyone lost their mind.
where I lived in Florida got like 7 inches of
It's
snow.
crazy, huh?
Fort Walton Beach,
Yeah, yeah.
that area.
That's nuts in Florida,
My
right?
wife would have fucking died.
Like, I don't know what to do in this. Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
I can.
That's funny. Oh Jesus. That's a good deal. Um, yeah, I don't know. So let's do that. Let's talk about meditation for a minute. Purpose of
All right,
meditation. I want to
feel
talk
free.
about purpose of meditation for me specifically, the intentions of meditation. And I don't want to do it like, I was thinking about it and I was like, how do I want to approach a discussion based of off of meditation? And I don't want to do it some textbook piece, right? Some open a book up and what's what is this professional? What is this professional right about it? Blah blah blah. I want to put it more of a personal experience, right? An experienced base
Yeah, yeah.
talk on it. And so
Here, here.
yeah, what I found many years ago was that my lifestyle was really unsettled, and it was really chaotic. And I'll go into that in a different show of the reasons behind it becoming chaotic and everything, or we can do it today. It doesn't matter. I don't care. But the
We'll
content,
probably save that for. Yeah,
that's a big subject. But the context
yeah.
behind
Save
it
it for where
was,
we have more time.
yeah, the context behind it was I needed some peace in my life, and I needed to find a way to get to that. It's not something that I had as an automatic in my lifestyle. And I came across this piece about prayer and meditation, and I didn't have any means of what is meditation beyond the Western idea of meditation is primarily it's like this you Buddhist monk sitting in a cave meditating for 13 years before he comes out and his legs froze off, like but I started doing like there's videos in YouTube with this meditation and stuff, right? Guided meditation is a really good one. And so I started doing these things, and I considered myself to be really bad at it at first, but I liked it, right? It helped out, and it started giving me, and this is where I go into like, what's my personal, why do I meditate? And it was from early on. I started understanding that it gives me a peace of mind, it gives me calmness, it gives me a way to wind down from the excitement of life or from the excitement of the day, you know. In particular, at that time, I was still actively in the military, doing a lot, right? And so my day was filled with excitement. Like it was nonstop all day, 100% full fucking throttle. And to decelerate out of that sometimes meant that I purposefully did something and actively concentrated on calming down. And what I found later on was that, you know, my brain was filled with all these thoughts, thousands of thoughts whirling. I call them the tornado of thoughts, where there's just there were so many, and they would go around, and there would be 1,000 that started simultaneously, and none of them ended before the next 1,000 started. You know, and what I was able to do was take that whirlwind of thought process and slow that wind down so that thoughts could finish before the next ones would start, you know. Not
Mm.
like I was dumbing myself down, but I was calming myself. My mental status was slowing down so that I could effectively think. I could clearly think, right? Instead of just be so excited nonstop. I use meditation probably on a daily basis. A lot of the times it's just simple things throughout the day, just a quick, and that's it, you know. I used to
Yeah.
when I was still in the Air Force, and we would get into some crazy times, and I would just feel myself losing that sense of connection. You know, not like sense of connection with reality, but just a sense of connection with calmness. Getting too agitated, quick, right? Not
Mm.
being able to sit down and focus and concentrate on the task at hand. I was constantly being distracted nonstop, and I needed to focus and get this done. And I had a little trick that I would do, and I would just get up and go to the bathroom and sit on the toilet stall, right? Because it was the only place people would not come and bother me. And I would sit
That's what
there.
you get for being an important person.
Yeah, no, dude. And I would sit there and just have calmness. I say this, but I've absolutely had people come into the bathroom and call my name like, motherfuckers. Do you not see I'm pretending to shit right now? But I would walk out with calmness. I would walk out with ease, right? And I would be able to focus again. And I've absolutely had times where I was the only one in the unit when everything was on fire. I could see that I was the only one that had slowed down to be able to rationally process the information and think about things logically instead of just react behind it, right? Disconnect the emotional aspect of fear or anger or whatever excitement word you want to attach to that, and be able to logically think, if I do this, what are the effects? What is the primary, secondary, tertiary effects of this action, right? That's just a little bit of the work, but mostly it's in here, right? It's all the
Yeah.
non-seen things that are inside my head, and when I get out of control, I can do a meditation, take meditation time. Sometimes it's long, sometimes it's short. Depends on the day. Every day's different, you know.
Yeah.
And just be calm. Find calmness primarily, you know. But with
Mm.
that, that's just one part. There's a second piece that's really important to me, and that's have spiritual connectivity. It's to find a means to a spiritual connection with my higher power. And so I can't have that connection with my higher power unless I have a calm mind, right?
Right.
If I'm not able to hear God, then I'm blocked from that. You know, I'm blocked from that connection. And so if I can calm myself down to where I can get to a place where I then have a connection that's available, then I can have a connection that's made.
Right. Well, I think the meditation thing's kind of really new to me because I was raised in a fairly religious household, and the idea from a Christian standpoint is that meditation is a bad thing because at no point in the, ideal Christian faith is that at no point should you sever your connection with God.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea of meditation is that you just turn your mind off. You basically stop, you don't think about anything, you just kind of just let it all go. And I was always told that, you shouldn't do that. That, if you need that calming, then you should pray, which is ultimately what meditation really is, but your
Exactly.
mind's on God.
Exactly.
So, the whole just sitting down for 15, 20 minutes and blanking my mind is damn near impossible for me. But I do take that time to pray. I still keep my spiritual connection very strong. Um, but again, it's one of those things where it's a real eye opener on how the different cultures, considering where we're at in our lives, you and I, with our significant others and everything, the different cultural adaptations I've had to make, and the learning. I'll be honest with you, it was definitely a learning journey for me because my spouse, she loves to meditate, so she wants me to join in that, and I can't. I find it really difficult to sit there for 20, 30 minutes straight, not doing anything. But I'm trying, and again, I'll say my prayers in there, and I'll, if I need a moment, I just the big thing is like you said, just taking the deep breath, letting go of all the shit that's bringing me down or weighing me down or however it might be. It's just a matter of figuring out a way to release that negative energy,
Mm-hmm.
really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I would have problems, not every day, but probably most days. I have problems sitting down for 20, 30 minutes straight and meditating. You know, it's not something that
Yeah.
works well all the time. But the intention that I have is, and it took me a while to figure this out, that if I come out of a meditation session calmer than what I went in with it, it was effective. You know,
Oh,
even if
okay, yeah.
that's
Well,
five
that
minutes.
makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's work. And
Even if you
it
just
took me
take
some
the
struggles. It took me a struggle to get to that point because I used to have like unbelievably deep meditation, euphoric meditation. And then, slowly, slowly, slowly that stopped happening. And it has been years since I've experienced that. And I came to this like, why does my meditation suck? What's going on with me? Why can I not achieve that level anymore? And through discussion with somebody else, I came to realize that it's not about how deep I go into meditation, right? It's about, am I coming out of that meditation better than what I went into it with, you know? I remember a
yeah.
video. I'm pretty sure it was the Dalai Lama, and the guy who escaped Tibet as a child. He was the Dalai Lama back then. But he was talking about meditation. He was talking about effective meditation. He goes, there's a reason that monks go to these very quiet places for solitude to meditate. And it's because he said, even I, the Dalai Lama, if I go to New York City and sit in Times Square and try to meditate, I probably won't be able to do it.
Yeah.
you know,
A distraction.
yeah, exactly. It's too much. It's
Yeah.
too busy. It's too much chaos. And so, like me personally, I am not comfortable being in the presence of other people during meditation, like a meditation circle, a meditation group, a meditation class. I don't do it. I enjoy being alone unless I'm specifically with a guide, you know. But I don't like sharing that experience with other people.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and because a lot of that's very personal. You
Very
can't,
much, yeah.
you know, it's hard to sit there, and especially with me and the wife, if we sit down for 5 minutes, meditate, half of that meditation is me thinking about what she's thinking about.
not
And I
not
know that
focusing on your breath, not focusing
yeah,
on a particular idea or a particular
yeah.
object. Yeah. You're focusing on
I'll
her.
do my prayer. I'll do my prayer, and that last minute or two, and then I'll try to let go of some of the stress that I might have. But then ultimately, the last few minutes, I'm just sitting there going, "I wonder what she's thinking.
Yeah.
Wonder what she needs to meditate about."
When is she going to be done?
Yeah, yeah, and then yeah, that's the other
I have
part
that.
is
Yeah.
whether or not I can catch the countdown. I'll start counting down in my head. Oh, the alarm's gonna go off in I bet 30 seconds or 20 seconds, and then I'll start counting down and be like, ah, when it doesn't. And then you just
Oh
start getting
gosh.
frustrated because you're like, "What? Why am I still sitting here?" You know, it's like, when is this alarm gonna go off?
Right. So I have
But so
I
yeah,
have prayer beads, right? And sometimes I'll sit down for meditation and say mantras with my prayer beads, right? In the Buddhist world, the prayer beads are 108 beads, and then in the Christian world, prayer beads, right? The Catholic have beads are 100
the
on the string. The
rosaries.
rosary, they're 100 beads, right? And but
Yeah,
they're the exact same purposes. You sit there and you thumb through them and you pray on each one, a particular prayer. And I
yeah,
will sit down and I will thumb through saying my prayers, and I will get to the point to where I stopped focusing on the prayer itself, right? And started focusing
count.
on how many are going to be left. Where's the end bead at? You know,
Yeah,
like totally not the purpose of that, right? Like completely broken. But the fact that I'm able to see that, to recognize it instead of continuously be distracted by that idea, I've come to
yeah,
understand that that idea is natural. It's going to happen. When I'm able to recognize that it's happening, I can then refocus. Yeah, that's so
yeah.
funny.
Sitting there sliding through the beads, going, "Wow, this one's unusually rough. Wow,
Right.
oh, this one's got a weird pot mark.
That would
Whoever sanded this is lazy." You know, that kind of
that
stuff.
that would actually be really good meditation because you're putting a lot of concentration into like the here and now. This bead,
Yeah, yeah,
what's the worth of this one bead? You know, instead of what am I going to
yeah.
do tomorrow?
It,
What did I do yesterday? How am I going to
yeah.
afford everything in the future? Yeah.
You spend a few minutes just studying something specific.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like the bead, like you said, like the beads, like, oh, this one's real smooth, oh, this one's real rough,
Hmm.
or this one's got a weird angle to it. Those types of things. Yeah, you're right. That would because you're taking your mind off everything else except for that
You're not
one thing,
concentrating
the
on the
bead.
clock. You're not concentrating on
Right.
what's my wife thinking right now.
Yeah, exactly.
How many of these damn beads are left? I'm so tired of doing this. Why do I do this? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you end up
Or
just being more frustrated than when you started.
yeah, exactly. Or this ain't working. What am I doing? You know? That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
But it's good to have those moments because you can refocus. You can catch them and use
Yeah.
them as an advantage, right?
Yeah, and like I said, to me, it definitely has its place in life, meditation. Um, but you have to learn how to do it properly and really and you even hit on it where the breathing is such an important part of it
Mm-hmm.
because physically we know that when you control your breathing and you the inhale and exhale is bringing in good energy and exhaling bad
Not
energy.
only that,
That's
there's actual a lot of physical sense to it between getting oxygen in, using your muscles
yeah,
in a
yeah,
rhythmic pattern to help soothe you, right? And it has physical soothing properties that the body has built into it to where when
exactly.
you are not
Yeah.
going or or just some crazy irregular, I don't know how that breathing's going to show up in the microphone. How that breathing, that crazy pattern of breathing is actually affecting your physical state, affecting your mental state,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
big time. And that's a good point though. Like legitimately, for those that are listening, if there's interest in meditation, it just starts with breathing. Like it doesn't have to be anything special. It could be sitting in the car, you know, and just that's it. Random thoughts everywhere, driving around, meditation, riding a motorcycle, right? You're in the nature. I used to, when I was younger and I used to still ride motorcycles, it's the same thing. You still ride motorcycles. You're tuned in to the world. You're tuned in and you're at peace, right? You're observant of everything, but you're calm, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the important part, like you said, even if you just step aside, take a couple deep breaths, um, and just, you know, you could even visualize, like you mentioned, riding a bike, or you could visualize the act of letting something go.
Mm-hmm.
grab a hold of that bad day or grab a hold of that bad conversation and just let it
Grab a
go.
hold of your
Just
boss's
visualize
neck
yourself. Yeah. Yeah. And then just let
and
it
just
go.
squeeze. Oh, let go.
Yeah. Let it go. Yeah. The squeeze part, I'm not sure that'll work out for
I'm
your
gonna meditate on
your
you.
serenity. Yeah. But yeah, just visualize, I found that really helps me is when I can visualize something, just letting it go, just dropping it, just be like, okay, this no longer serves me a positive
Like a metaphorical
purpose.
visualization of
Yeah,
just
yeah,
right, opening your
yeah.
hand and releasing it. Yeah,
Dust in the wind, basically. Just let it blow
I
away.
think especially Americans, we have a hard time doing that. Human beings, that's a hard thing to do, to let go of something, particularly like a resentment or something that's angered you or something that's
Yeah.
bothering you, to just let it go. Oh, man, that shit keeps me up at night sometimes. You know,
Well, and a lot of that's individual personality too, because I have a tendency to just be able to let shit go pretty easy.
I don't,
Yeah.
not at all. I will let shit eat me up. I have to purposefully release it, like you said. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, there are certain times where whether it be work or here at home or with my friends or whatever, there'll be certain times that somebody will do something that'll start to eat at me. But I've been through this enough to know, hey, if especially if it's my wife or a friend, I doubt they're doing it on purpose. I have to tell myself, I have to remind myself, hey, if he's doing it on purpose, if it's a friend, if that friend is doing it on purpose, then maybe that's not a friend I need around. Um,
I think that
but if they're
happens a
not
lot
doing
with the
it on
spouse,
purpose,
right? That happens a lot with the spouse too. It's like, I know my wife's not doing this to piss me off. It's just
yeah,
I'm overexposed to this and I'm tired of it, kind of thing. Like, I just
yeah,
need to
yeah,
fucking not react to this. Who saw? What's that? Who
yeah.
saw? Just
Usa.
whoo.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go sit on the toilet.
Yeah. Even at home. Yeah. I mean, and like I said, that's one of those things where, for me, it's easy for me to just let shit go because I understand that it's human nature to rub each other the wrong way sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I'm not much of a conflict guy. I used to be when I was younger, but I realized it didn't serve me any real purpose. So I've really tried hard over the years to just kind of let that go.
I love conflict. I live for it.
Yeah.
I live for it.
Oh, I can tell.
Oh goodness. I love it. I love
Yeah.
baiting people into debates and shit. All right, let's talk about something that bothers you. I
Yeah.
love it. I'm gonna piss you off today.
Yeah. Yeah, you're the type of guy that pokes somebody and then is like, "Why are you
Why are you so
mad?"
mad, dog? Like, you know how the whole siblings thing do the whole hands in the
Yeah.
face, like, I'm not
Yeah.
touching you, I'm
Yeah.
not
I'm
touching
not
you, I'm not
touching you.
touching
I'm
you.
not touching you. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that was a good subject. And I think,
Yeah.
are we recording?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're 27 minutes into this record. Wow, that we actually lasted on that quite a bit. I thought we were going to do like 10 minutes or something like that, but
No, I
oh, we
figured
did
we'd
the
do a
intro
whole
too. We
episode
did the
on it.
intro for a while. Our
Like
our
3 minutes.
I'm pretty sure we went over 3 minutes, dude. We did like 8 takes of an intro.
What kind of outro do we want?
Oh man, I don't know. Did we have an outro on the last one? You did. You came up with something, and it was pretty good too.
Yeah. Okay, so let's workshop this, shall we? So, thanks for joining us, everybody. This has been Not Two Old Timers,
Yeah.
and we hope to see you. We hope you join us again next week.
Hit the like, follow, subscribe, join us again.
Yeah, you could throw that in there on the end. How's
Give
that
us a
sound?
recommendation. We're going to be talking about
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff. All right.
Okay, let's try this again. You ready?
Try what again? That was
Thanks
great.
for. Okay.
No, go for it.
All right. Thank you for joining us, everybody. This has been Not Two Old Timers. Please join us again next week.
Hit that like, follow, subscribe. Put a comment in there. Tell us what you want to hear.
And we enjoy reading through all your comments.
Especially Brian's over here. Oh my goodness.